Good morning. Do you have your cup of tea? Let's start off by holding it and feeling the familiar warmth on our fingers. Taking a deep breath and just sort of settling into whatever space you have available to you right now. There might be kids running around. Maybe your housemate or your spouse is trying to have a meeting by conference call in the other room. There could be so many things going on. It feels like lately our worlds have all gotten very small. Obviously, the world is still really big, but the part of it that we're allowed to encompass is pretty small. And that can feel a little claustrophobic. Can feel like you don't have space for yourself. So right now we're gonna make a little space. We're just gonna close our eyes and breathe as deeply as you possibly can. When you're breathing in, think about letting your lungs take up as much space as they possibly can. Almost as if your lungs are going to expand right out of your body. And even though you're only in a small amount of space right now, try to breathe so deeply that your lungs are just going to bust right out of it. I like to think about breathing down into my belly and feel my diaphragm moving downwards. But I also like to feel breathing out through my sides and feel the way that my rib cage expands outward as well. As you take those breaths, see if you can smell your tea. Today, as we're thinking about the microcosm and the small space that we are in, but also starting to feel the expansiveness of that small space, I want to think a little bit about phytochemistry, about the molecules in your tea. Every time you breathe in and you smell the aroma of your tea, that's a chemical exchange that's happening in your nose. There are chemicals in the tea. Of course, they're organic chemicals. They're natural chemicals that create that smell for you. And as you start to get to know the different plants, you'll start to see that some plants share some smells. This is true of their tastes as well. And so you'll notice that spearmint and peppermint have some parts of their smell in common, and other parts of their smell are different. Smells and also tastes are made up of a combination of these molecules. Just like a cake is made up of a combination of many ingredients, smell and taste is made up of that as well. And so many different types of plants can have menthol, which is something that we associate with that minty, cool smell. It's not just peppermint. And the plants make these different molecules in their bodies to do different types of jobs. Just like we make red blood cells to do a job, we make white blood cells to do a job, we make the cells of our fingernails to protect the ends of our fingers. Plants make these different types of molecules because they have things that they need to do. They have things they need to protect, jobs that need to get done inside of their plant bodies. This is part of why herbs can have such a strong effect in humans and animals, because some of these molecules do the same jobs in our bodies that they do in the plant bodies. It turns out that humans and plants actually share a huge amount of DNA. We share more DNA than is different. Does that blow your mind a little bit? That we share DNA with plants? Whoa. We think we're so different because we've got legs. We can move around. But actually, that's just about the only thing that's different. And if you really want something fun, then research contractile roots. Contract, just like you contract a muscle. Contractile roots. There are some plants who can actually move sort of with their contractile roots. Wow. You might be confined to your home right now, but maybe your world just got a little bigger inside your mind because plants can move. Yeah. They move by lots of different mechanisms. Even plants that don't have contractile roots. They creep along. They do it more slowly than we do, but they can still move. So when plants make these molecules that we can interpret as smells, smells that maybe we find delightful, or maybe smells that we are not so attracted to, depending on what plant it is, those molecules, they work in our bodies just like they work in the plant bodies. So when we breathe in the aroma of our tea, when we drink our tea, we are incorporating into our bodies those plants. They become a part of us. That's something to think about. I am not just made up of myself, my experiences, my dreams, my thoughts, my fears. I am also made up of all of the plants that I ever ate as dinner, that I ever drank as tea. I'm made up of all the things that I bring into me, including media. Today is Friday. Days maybe don't have the same meaning right now that they did once. And so the fact that tomorrow is the weekend might not seem very exciting because it's not much different than today. You're still going to be staying home. Still going to be worried about all the stuff that's going on right now. But what if we take tomorrow and let it be a real weekend? What if we say, not gonna watch the news tomorrow. I know what's happening. A bunch of us are staying home and some people are sick. The doctors and nurses are working hard, and I'm gonna make food for my family, for the people that I'm home with, and for myself. Those things aren't going to change. And if we take 1 day or 2 days off from the news, it gives us a break. The news will be there on Monday. So I'll be here tomorrow with another cup of tea. And maybe we can plan not to watch the news together. I'll see you then.